How far can you go? How long does it last? Questions we're often asked about the batteries on our eMTBs when we're out on the trails. Today, I'm going to be hitting a big loop and answering all those questions. So the challenge today is one 504 watt-hour batteries fully charged, hitting the trails and doing as big a loop as I possibly can do. I've got a loop in mind. It's a mixture of sort of technical single track, open bridleways, a little bit of road section linking it. It's a ride I have done before, but I've taken 2 batteries around with me and I've had to use them. So if I'm going to make it round today, it's going to be a hell of a challenge. I'm basically going to be in eco, and I think with the Shimano system, I'm going to have to do a little bit with it turned off as well, just to keep that, you know, when I don't need that battery power. The loop's about 100 kilometers, so it is quite a big loop and a pretty big ask on one battery. 5,000 feet of climbing, so there's a big lot of climbing as well in that loop. But yeah, I'm pretty hopeful. I think we can do it with the right sort of battery management. So as I mentioned, in my armoury, I'm lucky to have a few different e-bikes, but I thought the tool for the job was my new Canyon Spectral On 8.0. It's got 29er front wheel as well and 650 rear wheel, so it's got that extra rolling resistance as well. It's not going to be as hard on tyres, skinnier front tyre. It's got the awesome Shimano E8000 motor and battery as well, so I knew that was meant to be super efficient. Also, this is one of the lightest e-bikes on the market currently as well. Weighs about 21 kilos, something like that, so it's super lightweight. So this is the ultimate tool for munching those miles up, in my opinion. So obviously along for the ride too, I took a riding pack. In here I've got a full bladder of water, got an assortment of tools, I've got tubes, pumps, things like that, just to get me out of trouble if things do go wrong on that big ride. So you might notice on my bike I've got a set of crank rubber clip pedals, also a set of Northwave clip shoes as well. These things are ideal for maximising that efficiency out on those big rides. I'm a normal flat rider, but I think clips give you that extra advantage when you need those extra miles. So it is a big ask for one battery this loop. As I said, it's 100k. And there's a few killer climbs, especially towards the end, which when I really do need that battery and I'm going to be tired, I'm frightened that I'm going to be going into the higher modes and draining that battery down. So I'm really just going to have to try and stay in eco the whole way if I can, as I mentioned, off. But I'm just worried those final climbs will kill that battery rightly when I need it most. So let's go see. So the journey begins. We're just setting off. I actually got the bike turned off at the minute. Just going to try and get these first few miles done without the battery. Just cruising along nice and easy. How far we can go on one charge. So into the woods now. Off the road, which is good. Still got that power off because this trail is quite flat, quite meandering, so not going to need a lot of assistance. Might put it on if it starts dragging, but for now, just going to keep rolling along with that power off because I know this is pretty flat. This trail's pretty epic, runs, I don't know if you can see that from down there. It's probably one of the biggest working quarries in Somerset. It's pretty huge. I'm just going to go to the edge so you can actually see how big that is actually. Check that out. We're doing 14 miles at the minute. I've actually dropped a bar off, I think, saying nearly 15 on the Shimano system here. We've lost a bar. It's saying, bearing in mind, we're at the top of a massive steep hill. We've only got 31 miles left in the tank on eco, but hopefully that's going to change. It's a bit more flowing. This is kind of bridleway trail for a few miles, so hopefully we'll be able to ride with the motor switched off and regain some of that. So let's check in again at around maybe 20 miles, see if that range has gone up. Hopefully it has, otherwise we're in trouble. We're climbing again. This is a real nasty little bit, and then on the road to actually the steepest part of the ride is really short and steep. It's brutal, even the roadies hate it, so good job we're on the e-bikes. So here we are, Alfred's Tower. This is just over the halfway point on the ride. Looking at my battery, and I've actually got just over 3 bars left now. So by my maths, that's just over half, so I think we can actually make it that whole 100k. The next bit is a mixture of old school kind of fire roads, bit of bridleway stuff, bit of single track trail through the forest, a little bit of road linking it. So I know that our next bit isn't going to be that bad on the battery, but there is 2 killer climbs combined in that. See how we go. This place, look at that bed down there. So look at this for an epic lunch location. Dad's there enjoying his sandwich, chilling already. But best news is, I've just checked my range, we've arrived. 52 miles. Sometimes you wish you had a horse. Look at those guys just cruising along. But look at the epic views. Makes it worth it. This is where e-bikes come into it for me. Like, I used to ride this route on a normal pedal bike. This bit was brutal. I used to not enjoy it at all, but quite similar to eco actually. But as I said, I'd normally be in a higher power mode for this. But what I do like is the views when you get up here. Kind of makes up for all that hard work. So that's 2 of the biggest climbs of my ride actually done. But what it has done is played havoc on my battery. That range has dropped a hell of a lot. I'm pretty disappointed because it looks like that 100k isn't on the cards. The only hope is I've got a nice bit of road section linking me up to the next bit of trail. Hopefully that battery's going to kind of regenerate and increase that range. Otherwise that 100k isn't happening. Whoa, I'm glad that's over. This is the last climb of my big loop, and hopefully I'm going to get that 100k, but I've just checked my range out and it's actually gone to under 10 miles and we're more than 10 miles away from home. So I think we're around, where were we? We're over 50 miles in. And then I hit this real steep, steep like tech climb in the woods. And as I got there, I just glanced down and I had a red flashing light. Oh no, she's flashing red. She is flashing red. Meaning it's the last few miles left in the tank. No way. Can't believe it. This is literally the final climb before I'm home. And that range has just dropped down. Flashing red light, 1 mile left of range. I was like, no, I couldn't believe it. It went from about 15 miles left, which would have just scraped 100k, to 1 mile left, just because of that draw it had on that climb. And I was like, oh my God. And then so I got to the top of this climb thinking, don't die now, because as soon as it died, we had to stop the vid and it was 100% genuine. So I really wanted to do 100k. 50.2 miles, oh my God. Range 1 mile. This isn't looking good. So I was like, God, how can I make this last? So I've managed to crawl to the top of this hill and turned it off, pedaled it off through the field because I know there's a big downhill section coming up after that. Let's have a quick look. Eco. Oh, it stopped flashing red. What does that mean? 6 miles. I was getting closer to home, so I decided just to be safe. I didn't want to be miles out, obviously, with a flat battery. Just to stay fairly local, so I just made up that last bit of distance, just local to home, just sort of scooting around the local roads and things, just to make that final few miles up. As I said, the bike's gone flat, but we're nearly home. We've done over 100k, but I need a drink, so I'm off home. So there we go, I'm home. I've done over 100 kilometers on a single charge. Yeah, I didn't use the battery and the motor the whole way around. I switched it off and I used eco. But I asked myself, did I enjoy that ride? Of course I enjoyed the ride, but I didn't feel like I maximized that full power and the battery of the e-bike to its full potential. I feel if you're going to use an e-bike for those big rides, you need to take 2 batteries with you and make those climbs a lot easier, because that's where I suffered. Yeah, I'm pretty fit myself, but I actually found that ride quite a long time, 5.5+ hours in the saddle, grinding away to get that 100k. But if you've enjoyed today's video, be sure to check out how to wash your e-bike up here. Don't forget, if you want to see more of me, meet your presenter down here. Really cool video, that one. Don't forget to leave some comments in the box below. If you've got any ideas on how we can improve that range in your big rides, drop them below. Give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to eMBN.